Let's fucking go. So if you were looking at this podcast or you came across it and you were wondering what does LFG stands for, it is exactly what you think it stands for. But there's an essence behind it. And it's a big part of why I actually created the podcast, why I wanted to do this show and bring these stories and these discussions to people to help move the needle in their lives. Let's fucking go is not just a mantra. You've heard Tom Brady say it. A lot of other famous athletes say it to prime themselves or just get themselves pumped up. But there's something deeper behind it. Let's fucking go is something that you harness. It's basically saying that no matter what the odds are, what your back is up against, whatever kind of wall it might be, if you're feeling hopeless, trapped, like there's no way out, it's basically saying I'm going to burn the boats and I'm going to make this happen. I've got this. I'm not going to run into a hole and cower. Whatever it is, I'm going to be the light. I'm going to be the optimism. I'm going to be the solution. I'm going to overcome. Now, here are a few things you can expect to hear. And if you haven't checked out our original trailer, make sure you do, because that'll give you a little bit of an essence of what this show is going to be about. But for you as the listener, you can expect to hear from world champions and Olympians, people that have really overcome and overachieved in their particular space, whether it's athletics, entrepreneurship, business, or just human resilience and life, beating cancer, whatever it might be. So you'll hear from athletes such as Lance Armstrong, former Olympians like Steven Lopez and Apollo Ono, just to give you an idea. But I don't want to give you too much away here, because at the end of the day, these stories are not just about the famous people or the well-known individuals that are actually bringing these to you, but really about the core of what got them there. What did they actually accomplish? What did they learn about themselves along the way? And it is my hope and promise to you as an audience member that you're going to be able to listen to these and take something away, not just because this person is so far out of reach or touch from you, like an Olympian or an entrepreneur who might be a gazillionaire, but actually because there was at some point in their life, they were exactly where you were. They were facing some kind of adversity. Their credit cards were maxed out. They felt like they had no place to turn. They felt absolutely hopeless, maybe even depressed, and didn't even know how they were going to move on in life. But somehow, some way, some light shone, and they were able to overcome and break through. And that story, that energy, is what LFG is all about, but also what inspires me as a host and why I'm bringing the show to you, because it's that story of resilience and human spirit that I think is what everything is all about and what we all should be drawn to. There are plenty of podcasts that are out there that focus on personal development, but they start from a very positive place. I don't think there's enough light being shined on those that start from maybe such not so positive places or negative spaces even, where people are maybe down and out. How about those folks? Think, if you will, of the Chris Gardners of the world, the guy who was featured in the movie The Pursuit of Happiness, who I actually had the privilege of meeting just a few weeks ago. If you want to talk about somebody who was absolutely down and out, living on the streets with his son while trying to figure out how he was going to eat, that is a great starting point. We hear too many stories, not that there's anything wrong with them. And again, there's plenty of podcasts and shows that shine light on this, of where people are already at in a good place and they made this incredible jump up or heard something or experienced something, learned something new, and they went from being someone who was doing great to even better. I want to be able to shine light on this because I don't feel like it gets talked about enough. Now, you're hearing all of that, and this sounds like it's going to be a great interview show, which it will, but that's only a small component of this. A big part of the show, and a big part of why I wanted to bring this, is because of my experiences. Now, my qualifications and background are such that I am a 23-year veteran of the mortgage industry. You might think, what do mortgages have to do with these kinds of stories? I'm going to tell you in just a second. But more importantly, and what I'm more proud of, is that I've done martial arts, Taekwondo, more specifically, which is the Korean art of self-defense, for 38 years. I competed for Team USA and had the privilege and honor of winning the world championship 2 times. But the even bigger honor that I had in my lifetime of being exposed to this martial art has been to be called co-head coach for Team USA for 10 years, because I had the unique opportunity to influence change in a special group of people. Now, the stories of all of those individuals and the philosophy that I adapted and used within those athletes to move them from point A to point B, from athlete to eventual champion, from shy kid to someone who actually now has confidence and is walking through the world with a different pep in his step, are what I want to actually bring to you. And that is my promise to you as an audience member. You're going to hear stories and insights from me in short sound bites of 10, 15, or 20 minutes, where you can listen to this while on your ride to the gym, while maybe even at the gym on a treadmill, to where you can actually take this and it's going to move the needle in your life. Now, here is my one ask of you all, because feedback is going to be critical in this journey as I continue to add more episodes and bring value to you as the audience. This is about you guys. I want to move the needle in your life. I want to inspire you and help you. So please share your comments back with me if you're enjoying these episodes, if there's certain topics or areas that you feel would be better to touch on. If there's things you're not liking, please share that with me. I've got thick skin. I can absolutely handle it. Now, the other thing I'm going to ask of you is that you add me to your podcast rotation. The average podcast listener has about 7 or 8 podcasts that they're actually subscribing to. And the reality is there's probably 2 or 3 that they have not even checked in on for a while. So it's time now, I'm going to tell you, to bump one of those off because it's LFG time. You need to add me to that rotation and move one of those people off. Not all 3, just one, and find a way for me to become part of your actual rotation. And in our next episode, I'm going to talk to you about why people choke. Not just athletes, but actual humans, everyday people. Why do they choke? Why do they fall short? We're going to walk through the psychology of what's actually behind that and how you can overcome it.